Adrian Rudolphi.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Chair. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to this debate. In the Ministry of Education annual report, Māori are referenced 108 times, which is quite a lot. And I think carrying on and contributing to this debate, it would be remiss of us not to acknowledge that. One of the big issues, and I support what my colleague Chris Hipkins has said around NCEA. The NCEA results, although Māori have improved, as it says in the report, disparity of achievement remains a challenge. And so there's a number of things that the Ministry of Education have been doing. For example, they've been working with 11 iwi who have worked with around 100 whānau each to develop whānau education plans. My contribution to this debate around that is that's great, but there are a lot more families out there, and I think maybe we're just tinkering around the edges a bit. There needs to be a lot more engagement at that level for it to be successful. I think the really important thing also is that plans are great, but if you haven't got the means to implement them, then they become just ideas on a piece of paper. And so we need to look at how that can be done. And from my point of view, I support what Chris Hipkins has just said. Free post-school education would be a huge contributor to making those plans work for our people. Over the years, we've had this thing called historical and intergenerational trauma, and that means the population today, this generation, has inherited the hurt and the problems that have been passed down generation by generation. Unfortunately, we kind of let that impact on our lives far too much. I think it's more important for us to acknowledge that and to actually put things in place that address those issues. And that's why I stand to say, sir, that the 305,000 children living in poverty today, that is a huge barrier, and a huge number of those children are Māori children, to overcome in an education system that should be addressing all of those issues for all children. Today, sir, we heard the opinion of the Deputy Prime Minister around a cohort of people. And I would suggest that a number of those people are brown people. And to systematically write them off as being pretty damn hopeless is absolutely not good enough. No matter how you characterise that group, there's no doubt about it that Māori and Pacifica make up a huge part of that group. And I'm really disappointed that this House has accepted the answers from the Deputy Prime Minister around that, because it's actually not good enough. No. I think that the things that need to be addressed within the education sector, and there are a number of programs within this annual report which deserve credit, but I would say that it needs to go a lot wider, and it needs to include a lot more people, and for them to be successful. Unless we make major changes to the way that we deliver education in New Zealand, then these results here on this as part of the annual report will continue, and that gap will just move incrementally along with everyone else. So we might make some gains, but unless we address that fundamental issue, I think that we are doing the future generations a disservice. Thank you, Mr. Chair.